How'd we do? I got 5.
I got 6.
Hey. What'd you get? 6?
I got 7.
And conscious means that you're conscious of what's going on in this world. You're fully aware and awake. Conscious rap means. So if you got conscious rap, that means you got unconscious rap. That means you got motherfuckers that's unconscious rapping. That means they sleeping. They still under the spell of Leviathan. They still under the spell of King.
Call me brother man, I'm not the rubber man. Though I keep my Nazis in affairs wrapped with some rubber bands. Bunning out the Ku Klux Klan and Wizard Grand, Dairy Queen misters. Just butts of guns I'm giving. Trying to make more sovereign citizens, these minions. Help kill your prophet, stole your treasury millions. You heard it from your brother man, now the smother sellout. Cess links in K2 Kush days, keep me red out. I got the knowledge to make these silly hoes question the pimpin' directors of music videos. Gay laws and persons with strap-on boots with heels. Too much graphic art faces, boobs are not real. Since MCM and Troop, they use Timberland boots to get us all caught up in fashion, not the simple men roots. Got our people on dogmatic, not metaphysic. Exoteric, not esoteric is how you missed it. So out of it you couldn't feel the natural mystic blowing through the air like it didn't give a shit. I hear the dirty Moors dissing, cause I said profanities. A lot of these grand sheiks need to take off the panties. Pull the thong out your crack vest wearing sash ass nigga. Return to where the prophet found you, Negro ass nigga.
It's time to choose a side. You either positive or you negative. You either evil or you good. You understand what I'm saying? Choose a side, nigga. I know what side I'm on.
I throw a Molotov at the priest that works for the beast. All they want is our people to rest in peace. No attention of allowing more stress to ease. Cracker won't go home to spread himself the disease. Genocidal epidemic kill us in high proportions. Instead of mummified, we stay boxed in coffins. Mayors attend funerals for PR purposes. Where's the police escort? He replied with nervousness. He said, I don't have those numbers or connections to have Metro Police lead your friend's funeral procession. That's coming from Mr. Mayor, black community player. No question in the hoods dropping off boxes of weapons. Then blame black on black crime or natural causes. Plus those doctors are not on point but off a bit. Natural mystics prove they're not holistic. Hypocrite oaths make your children autistic.
I'm at the point now where I'm saying I'm tired of mixing the medicine with the food. I'm tired of playing that game. Now I'm shoving straight medicine down your fucking throat, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Straight doses of medicine is getting shoved down your throat. I don't give a fuck if it turns you off or not. Because if it do turn you off, then you're a stupid, ignorant motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Don't judge like a cover of your favorite book. Visit you in your dreams, hand with a hook. Paralysis overtook, so shook. Stop, look, listen with precision. MC on a mission, vision. Past senses and endless. Cypher with active Moors, beat you with facts senseless. Have your mind defenseless when the truth enters. Eyes glow, reminds me of Omar Bay, Algonquin embers. Tap your pioneer out, what's a man remembers. All the lies told to your mind dismembered. Circle broken into quadrants, you the 7 in the center. Compass G between the square, Baphomet of Templars. Warlock, call on my witch mothers to maim them. The same wise spirits burned at stakes in Salem. Torture with vagina pair, survive, bobbing for apples. Contort thumb slide, wrist out, tight shackles.
I always got something deep to say, every time around. I always got something deep to say, every time around. I always got something deep to say, every time around. I always got something deep to say, every time around.
Northgate, H2O flow, Chic, Canaanland, Moor, Release Fall, Shalon Davis, salute, Hot House, check it. They say they wanna learn, they only debate. Referencing the truth, trust me, they only sound the great. Study nationality before you question my estate. I'm not a minority, why you so late? Majority rules, here comes the test. Fact, that's my hand in the form of a V on the chest. That's a womb that is blessed like a moon and a crest. Major forever, infinite mindset. Major from birth, that's a seed in process. I'm a Moor, that is easy to digest. Competent, never tyrannous. That is my land, never faking. Secret traditions, petitions for what you're not Jamaican. Westmoreland to Portmore, everybody needs more. If you please more, following the apostle, we should be more. I see the unseen more, we more. More, that's a fact. Canaanland.
They say they wanna learn, complain classes are too long. Don't want it on a phone call, energy too strong. Get it from the wrong source, now they way off course. Think they must be Muslim and give up on all sports. Should give up the red meat, must give up on all porks. Won't be yelling haram when the bottles are uncorked. Eating with the spoon, use forks for tuning. Eating humble pie, no ego ballooning. Samson 2 caterpillars, got him cocooning. As the full moon hung, spiral energy moving. Up through the crown chakra, energy shooting. And told me upload classes before live YouTubing. 16,000 subscribers, 20% consuming. 80% troll pretending to be tuned in. Comment on every video, pushing the thumbs down. We'll push the link when we live just like a clown. Pouring in the incompetence, always debating. Dissing Drew Ali, but won't give their location. His image on the black banner, that's placation. Just get him out of here, Yusuf yells in frustration. We know they're playing games, we're not berating. Calling 911, scimitars penetrating. In defense of prophets and mothers abused. And newly awakened Moors, amused and confused.
So I just want to get you in. What? I'm rocket. Who says we ain't in the building? Who says we ain't into building? We the Moorish master masons, architects for your children, repping Friday 13th like Jason without the killing. But we promote life, oh, it's all about the feeling. And we invoke light, yo, we them light beings. Though you might see him on the block getting his portion, might be talking to cops, giving them caution. Occasionally wearing his fez when he's walking, see the turning heads, whispering, gawking. But he's locked in, and he's zoned out while we boxed in our own house.
We study the mystics, the adepts, the magi. Wisdom of the ancients can uncalcify eyes. Possible mission, free mental numbness. Extract the substance with minds of dumbness. Use the source, don't care what some purport. As we know by being told man knows not. Many before the floor, souls got bought. Placed in the devil's hands, ruling the 7 lands. To dogma rituals, Negro spirituals. Brainwash subliminal, keeps thinking to a minimal. They're still criminal, in a world digital so pitiful. Mental survival so critical, it's visible. Can you see past righteous blocks? Hashtag zombies with waves of cyber thoughts. No need for cell phones, they speak through saw palms. It's nothing for alarm, chips and forearms.
Wind, brass, and bass, such a beautiful serenade. Women feeding me grapes, I'm feeding the Henry serenades. Whether the sky is clear or gray, rain when you hear a fake, giving life to seed. Speaking through who not here today. Show you the future in a glimpse. Can always look to these holes like hallucinatory pimps. Sun walked the desert, been more ever since I found God. Look back, used to see his prince. Forget being a prince, I'm a G. OD, grown man, no jokey. Deny it, you don't know me. Don't make me tap into the old me. That's like a couple hundred years. Walk around town with a couple hundred peers and release the peace of fears. The sun gon' shine, so what tears? This young brother here just trying to get his third eye clear.
This deep, Moors don't sleep. Invest in your mind and body and unleash. Real life rap, spitting over tracks. Conscious thinking and living and then attack. This deep,
Moors don't sleep. Invest in your mind and body and unleash.
Yeah.
Real life rap.
Yeah.
Spitting over track.
Yeah.
Conscious thinking and living a dead attack.
So as the moon sets, the sun takes its place as spoons on blocks, inspired spots, filled spaces, peel back, rats, who got cases, fire stain the corridors of flemo faces, game changers, rule benders and no pretenders, style lenders, channel my vibe through the vibrant optic lenses, send a message to our veterans, soldiers up and get it in, we on our verge, we emerge subliminal beings, third eye seeing, still I participate unwilling.
They wanna break me, shake, bake, grade me, rolling with my main G, double OMG, SON is crazy. For a minute that you think you could take me for a fool, like a native to his land, being schooled by a foreign dude. You mistaken me, spiders on the roof, in the dark tools, I be saying you mistaken me. You better move or I mark it. Power pin is my tongue, your existence to target, revealing all lies and deceit on the market. Genocide, carry round in pockets, I knock it down, bulldozer. David to Goliath, it's an exposure. Are some big cats ruling and it's getting closer to your downfall, round up all your soldiers.
Little homie, I was seeking a fortune, tired of misfortune. I just wanted a portion, everything that I never had, though I needed my portion. Blowing like porcelain, haters battle as porcelain. Getting broke, tired of being broke. How we acquire hope is the DJ skill as a dope, just to keep us afloat. Mind as deep as the bone, brain is a lethal weapon. We want need to elope. When I speak, I provoke. Walk in the room with my aura feeling like heavy smoke. Feel like when the levee broke under my Louis Vuitton, the semi-poke. Cause dirty cops that kill the boy, yeah, the joke. The cost of living, higher profits in private prison. These little girls are selling bodies just to pay tuition. These little niggas selling niggas just for bail condition. It's like the slavery never ended with the intermission. I wanna free the world, but I'm one man. A couple ones like me and make one plan. I wanna free the world, but I'm one man. A couple ones like me and one plan.
Islam. Happy solstice to all the Moors out there. Islam is
Islam, Cujo. Peace, Moors.
What's good?
Yo, all is well, man. Everything.
Good. Everything.
Yeah, this moment in time right here. You know?
Yep. Yeah, we're answering that one now. Every time somebody says what's good, everything.
All is well.
All is well.
All is well. Hey, and if I may make a comment, I didn't know how powerful that statement was. No cap. This is real talk. I just want to start here because lighthearted vibes.
Yeah.
And I've been reflecting a lot and having bills with my mother like the last 3 days, just looking back. But I didn't know how powerful that statement was, saying all is well. Right. First off, you're speaking that into your life and into your environment. But bro, I was in Harlem and I went into the corner store with nothing but bloods in there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, I was just going in the store and I had on a Moor's hoodie with the red flag and the green 5-pointed star on it. So I'm trying to tell you, this is real talk. And a brother asked me what's popping. And I said, all is well. And he said, that's that stone talk. Now, you know what he meant by that.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm just saying that the Moorish influences in every part of society, we can't apologize for it. We can't take it back. It is what it is. The lessons of Noble Drew Ali and the ancestors before us have still reached us to this day, even on what some people deem as the lowest level of society for whatever reasons they have. But these are the people. So absolutely, everything is good. All is well. You know what I mean? That's a direct quote from the Circle 7. And it's only all well when you put your hands in the hands of Allah, right? Like you walking with Allah. And we already know, if we're talking Circle 7, right, that these stations of the sun, the spirit of the mighty Allah, the cherubim and the seraphim, pardon me, I don't mean to get religious, quote unquote, for the newcomers who may be listening, but for the Moors who know, y'all know, we know, right? These are the things that will lead to victory, right? And here we are again on this solstice, the summer solstice, right? And we're talking about the stations of the sun, because according to those lessons, these are the things that will lead to victory. Why? Because it's the conquering of the lower self and tapping into the true spirituality, the true law of nature, which has everything to do with the natural energies and planetary bodies that surround us, whether we like it or not. And
Pardon yourself, Moore.
nah,
Before you go on, I also
Mhm.
want to stress a point of how many of these that we got that our day fell on a solstice or equinox. Even going back to MHHS, I was just thinking about it just now. There's a lot of broadcasts that were on a solstice.
Yeah, but different ones.
Yeah.
Different ones. Like, and I think that our perspective has stayed true to the foundation of why we even acknowledge it. But also as human beings, we've grown so much from all the ones we got, whether it be summer solstice, winter solstice, fall equinox, vernal equinox. These are things that we take a moment to acknowledge, because this is a part of our true religion, our true spirituality. It's based in the law of nature, right? And so knowing that we are of the essence and in honor of a divine and a national movement, you know, I know we feel the same way, that it's only right that we take time to acknowledge these things while many others may not. And if I could share this, um, it's crazy. Like, it's not crazy, but I put this together because it was bugging me out, bro. Over the past 7 days, I have ran into people that I haven't seen for over 6 or 7 years. 5 of them, 5 people that I haven't seen in over 5 years. Some of them 10 people. And when it happened the third time, I'm like, all right, is this a retrograde? Like, is it a retrograde going on? And then today, just today, I ran into the other 2 more people that I have not seen in over 10 years, bro. Right? So, well, one of them was over 5. The other brother was definitely has been over 10 years. I ran into a few sisters that I haven't seen since 2016. Right? And it's just like, I'm thinking to myself, like, all right, is it a retrograde energy right now? And then it hit me. Yeah, it is. Because we talk about Mercury retrograde. And pardon me for y'all who may not understand what this conversation is, but I trust that Moors in the chat actually do. Salute to you all. But let's talk about it. I'm like, hold on. It feel like a retrograde energy. And this is the thing about the solstice, is that in fact and indeed, when it is the winter solstice, the sun is in retrograde. Those are the only 2 times the sun goes into retrograde. We talk about Mercury retrograde, Jupiter, Saturn, the moon retrograde, and all of these things are true, but there's only 2 times in a cipher that the sun goes retrograde, which is the solstice. So as I was thinking, and I didn't even look at the chart to see if it was Mercury retrograde, I just knew it was a retrograde energy. And it hit me the other day that, oh yeah, it is. This is the beginning of summer. The solstice means sun stand. That's retrograde. It's not yet moving forward, even though it's only a 3-day retrograde. It's still a retrograde. So it boggled me that this week, in the past 7 days, I've ran into 5, specifically 5 people that I haven't seen, some in 5+ years and some 10+ years, all in 7 days. So I'm just saying, you know, for me, that retrograde energy is a real thing, even though we know it's the summer solstice, it's still retrograde. And acknowledging these things, Cujo, if because people, you know, talk about they represent Noble Drew Ali so much, and we appreciate that. However, he was talking about the cherubim, the seraphim, and the stations of the sun, along with the spirit of the mighty Allah, who rule the stations of the sun, are his guide and protector, and they will lead to victory. Cujo, I think we all trying to win. We want the victory. You know what I'm saying? In life, like, you know what I mean? And so acknowledging these stations of the sun, even if it's just your solar return, these are the things. These are that you're talking about experience, your own history book.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Your own.
That's what we talk about. That's what we talk about out here with doing different events and whatever, that we're making our own history. You know what I mean? Like we have to create it. You know, even this weekend, there's the Solstice walk. You know, because we have to honor all the gates. That's our culture, and we have to actually start, you know, just being the culture. You know, because how else is the culture going to be if it's not through the Moors who are here right now to actually walk the steps of carrying on the Moorish culture. You know, even when you go back to saying seeing people from your past, same thing. Bumping into people, you know, that I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
There's definitely it's either a expansion of the energies or certain energies getting out the way, so the real energies could be closer. You know, but there's a pull happening with Moors who are on a certain frequency. You know, it's happening real time, and we're actually part of it. Going back to the thing about this is culture that we're actually making happen right now, real time. You know, the repetitiveness of Sons of Allah, summer solstice, that happens regularly, like all the other days that we get, that it just happens to be good days, you know.
Yeah, and just to take a 270 recap, bro, our summer solstice schedule is in line, right? Third Thursday, summer solstice. The vernal equinox was on the third Thursday, and the winter solstice was on the third Thursday. I didn't look yet, but I could almost guarantee that the third Thursday in September is going to be on the equinox, bro. And this was the schedule 10 plus years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've seen people, and this is where it's like, okay, you get the signs to keep going, because out of the 5 people I've seen in the past week, 3 of them know exactly what I'm about as far as the information in the movement. Right. And they was like, yo, I've been looking for you. Like, yo, yeah, I wanted to talk to you because this other Moorish brother told me, you know what I mean? Like, he know what you about. Like, and then another person that I've known since I was a child, you know what I mean? That I haven't seen in 10 years and know what's up. And it's just like, damn, you know what I mean? The retrograde is real. And I just want to say this. I know we here on the solstice, you know what I mean? Shout out to you, the brother Salim, and all Moors in the cipher. I know y'all have a session this Saturday. I will be right there with y'all, and I already told you this. Last year I caught an injury, thought I could do more than I could do. This year I gotta go to my aunt's 65th born day celebration. And I just wanted to let it be made known that, for the record, I would be right there with y'all if it wasn't for those things. But we gonna link up, and I appreciate the fact that you Moors are linking and doing something. You know what I mean? I really wish I could be there with y'all. You know what I mean? So big acknowledgement to that as well. Please keep it going. I'm going to catch up. You know what I'm saying? Love y'all for that though. You know.
Honor to see you more. Yeah, so we're out here. Has there been a Sons of Allah broadcast from near Maryland yet?
From where?
From near Maryland?
No, not
Never.
broadcasted or publicized like that.
All
I
right, well,
built with
here
many
we
Moors
are.
in Maryland,
Here
so-called
we
Maryland.
are.
Yeah,
Here we are. Another good day that we're out here,
Fact.
and we're out here with the Moors and its Sons of Allah near Maryland. Another good Thursday.
No doubt about it.
Can't make this up.
Islam,
Can't
boy.
make it up. Can't make it up. Islam more. And so and we're gonna keep it right there because bro, no matter how they try to flip it, duplicate it, bro, when we over 10 years ago said agreed to doing the third Thursday of every month, there has been something divine about every third Thursday. And we didn't even look that far into the future to realize that was what was happening. You know what I mean? Like I think the divinity on it, and that's the other thing too about one of the sisters I ran into, and it's been about 8-9 years since I last seen her. But she asked me, she was like, "Yo, you still do the blog with the brother from Canaanland?" And in that moment, and I'm talking about the past 7 days, it hit me like, damn, we have reached a lot of people, and I just want to say, all of y'all who appreciate it ab initio, even to now, like I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? Because I was like, damn, like I didn't even you keep it moving in life sometimes and then you catch up and you think like, damn, yeah, we gave people a lot of information that they researched for themselves. They wasn't sitting around trying to make us do something for them or get them out of some shit. Like they were genuinely interested in knowledge. So I've hit people with the books Sex and Race Volume 1, 2, and 3, right? To keep it impartial. Like, all right, you might whatever. I gave people a lot of literature over the years. And even sometimes even came out of pocket to give people literature that I know they may not have had access to or even ever heard about. And I see them today, and the appreciation is so real. It's like, damn, yeah, this is what we do. This is a part of why we here. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna feel ashamed about that because I shouldn't. It's a good thing. There's a lot of these internet trolls who don't do no study for themselves, who never took the references that was being given seriously to go cross-reference and do the research for themselves. They got everything to say about what Moors is doing and not doing and all this other stuff. And I'm like, yo, these people is imaginary players, imaginary playmates. Like I never met none of these people in real life. The people I met in real life, I actually receive respect and love from when I see them in real life.
Right.
Like I don't have beef with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't in real life. Like there's, and I'm not saying this to say like I'm untouchable or none of that shit. I'm just saying like when it really comes to Moors that I know, like in real life, not just we gotta talk through the internet and I gotta dispute your opinion.
That's an email, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about in real life, this doesn't happen to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it can't, and I haven't been in disagreements, but these imaginary people from the whole other side or wherever, like it doesn't. I don't know these people. It doesn't. It's not real to me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, more. I'm just appreciating the times we in. Like I said, last summer, I came back to my home base region, and I caught an injury, so I couldn't enjoy how I wanted to. I didn't do what I had planned to do. This summer, it's like, okay, God willing, Allah willing, things is gonna be how I envision. You know what I'm saying? And so, bro, I'm just happy to be here, bro. Like I'm happy to be here. I don't walk around with no shame. You know what I mean? I'm thankful for the people that I know and have endeavored to share information with. Like again, like for all y'all who've been rocking with us since we started on blog and even to this day, and you know what I mean? Like I appreciate it. You know what I mean? It's an honor for me anyway. You know?
Yeah. And actually that was another one too, because we were listening to one of the blogs earlier today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we were listening to one of the blogs. And Um, you know, the 1 minute calling in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, people calling in questions, people calling in with, you know, whatever it is. You know, you might get the surprise one, you know, Setting
Yeah.
Rock call in, Roz call in or something.
Yeah.
You know?
I appreciate all of that because
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going cap, bro. I felt like when the pandemic hit, I felt like it was the end of a lot of things. Like, all right, this is a new world. Like it like everything I known has changed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everything. Like I'm old enough to know that a shift happened, right? Like I ain't old, but I'm old enough to know a shift happened. A shift happened in 2020. Like let's just start there, right? Like we could go, but in 2020, a shift happened in a societal way where it was like, damn, you know what I mean? Like things have changed, and you move forward from that. Like what do you do when everything you know kind of like shut down, wasn't what you known it to be? They introduce all these weird standards and new quote unquote social normals in society. And how does somebody who's had over 20 years, over 25, 30 years of living at that point adjust to something that's so foreign? Like, yeah, we gotta adapt, and we have, but that wasn't normal, bro. That was different. That was different than anything I ever seen in my life, bro. When the pandemic hit, and so it's like, all right, you start from this point. Everything is different now. Everything is different now. So is it a restart for everything? Of course, you keep the same principles, but you restart everything. Like everything has to restart. This is what Noble Drew Ali was talking about. One day, the wheels of industry are going to stop. And then when they start again, they will be in the favor of the Asiatics. I'm like, oh, this is the prophecy fulfilled. This is it. This is it. If we were to ever see it in our lifetime, it was no other time
This
than
is it. Yeah.
this was it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I get it. You know what I mean? So you sit with those prophecies manifested,
Yeah.
and you're like, all right. So it's no longer about, depending on where you was at the time, what did Noble Drew Ali say? It's like what he said already came to pass. Why are you late? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the real question. Why are you late? You know what I mean? Like this is what it is. So yeah, more. I don't know.
Good one. Yeah, go ahead, man.
And not even presently in a position to take advantage of the situation properly. The mindset of the people is still lost. They still stumbling and fumbling and bumbling. You dig what I'm saying? And right now, with things in the position that the prophet said it would be, for all of the things that he left for us to pay attention to. And we literally have seen all of it. And I ain't talking smack about nobody who don't right now. Problem is if I can comprehend this, you can get this.
Yeah.
And it's just simple math.
Yeah.
And if you really want freedom, you're going to step up. And you're going to do what you're supposed to do for you. You're the micro or the macro. I am that I am. And it's that simple. Islam, boys.
Islam.
Well, I appreciate that because that's real talk. You know what I mean? There's some brothers and sisters who was in quote unquote special ed in the public school system. And now that we're so far removed from that, these are some of the smartest people you may know. Right? And it's like, it's the education patterns and what they're teaching and what they're not. So when you speak about, if you could get it, I could get it, everybody could get it, right? Like, this is not complicated. Right. People make it complicated because they put everything in front of it. right? They need a leader, they need a preacher, they need a pastor, whether that pastor has on a turban, hijab, fez, right? They need something outside of themselves to validate themselves. And this is where we have to rid the inferiority complex. It even trickles over into law. When Noble Drew Ali was talking about all men are created equal and free, right? And so the equality, right? And it's some people, man, like we could tell like they really are stuck in the inferior. Like even with what we're talking about, like we've seen everything collapse, and now this is the brick by brick build back. It may take a while to get fully back to what we known it, right? But this is the bounce back, and some people are still waiting or don't even recognize that the prophecy was already fulfilled. Like they're waiting on what Noble Drew Ali was saying to come true when it already did. You know what I mean? And then it's like, okay, so are we in the old chapter or are we in the new era of time now? Right? Like, I mean, as we speaking on time and the solstice, because these are the real clocks of destiny, right? The planetary bodies, right? These are the true clocks of destiny. So are we in the new era now, or is it like, yo, those of us who got the message that was delivered 100+ years ago are the ones who are taking it into the new era of time? Some people are waiting for prophecies to come true that already have, and it's just like, I think some people are in a time warp, you know? And so moving forward, we gotta know these stations of the sun. And it's not that the message is antiquated. The message is not antiquated. It's just like you get the warning, then things happen. And it's like, did it happen or you waiting for it to happen? I'd look at it like what he was saying already happened. Now what do we do?
Right.
You know?
Time to go to work.
Time to go to work.
Yeah, boy.
For those who haven't been working, for the ones who've been working, keep up the good work.
Mm-hmm.
For the ones who need to do some work, start doing some work. Because it is time. Even when we look at new Moors will come with their eyes wide open. You know, that wasn't a particular time. That's something that's always going to be happening.
Perpetual.
There's always going to be new Moors with their eyes wide open.
Yeah.
Always. You know, that's prophecy that's been manifesting. Some people don't want to accept that, because if they accept it, then it means that there's no more of them. You know.
They scared of expiration dates.
Yeah.
They want
They want that Android life. Live forever.
Yeah.
Live forever in some flesh.
Mm-hmm. And that's why it's important to get it to the parents so that they could get it to the youth, so that those new Moors come in already knowing what's up. It ain't no disrespect. It's just like, yo, we know what's up. We've been knowing since we was 7, 8 years old. We've been hearing this, right? Like, they know. And you know what I mean? Like, and that's why, because I don't think we get this information that's around today if somehow, some way it wasn't continuously passed down for somebody to point back to a reference, right? Like, the information had to survive from ancient times to now to still be around. Though there were gatekeepers and people who was keeping information secret and all of this, somehow the truth survived from back then to right now, so that we could even have these conversations about solstice, about nationality, about constitution, right? Like, the truth never died, right? I think that that's the lesson, a divine lesson in the 101s anyway. The truth never changes or pass away. The truth cannot die, right? Like, and so for us to be here, we're talking 100 years after Noble Drew Ali founded the old Canaanite temple and whatnot. and this truth is still around, that means that the truth never died, right? And so now, while we're true and living in full life, thankful to be alive, we can still point back or look back to see how these references survived. How did it survive? Even though I think it would be safe to say that there's a lot of disagreements amongst Moors, especially like a lot of us here in the flesh now, on the live now, we know what's up, but there's been a lot of disagreements amongst Moors in the more so-called Moor Science Temple of America since Noble Drew Ali was on the scene, and definitely since right after he passed, right? So you got Moor Science Temple in, you got Moors in the Moor Science Temple of America trying to naturalize people and consular court jurisdiction people. When we're home, this is our home. Like, we are Aboriginal. We are the original people of the land. That is a fact. Like, I don't care what they try to say to discourage people from that. And I wanted to say this, Cool Joe, because people have been talking crazy and fear mongering about the systemic policy enforcers saying, well, if you challenge jurisdiction, you're going to be labeled as an extremist, or you're going to be labeled as a sovereign citizen. I just want to say that the Constitution keeps all of this in check, right? Like, the executive branch doesn't have the authority, according to the Constitution, right, for the United States, but it's really the American Constitution. But according to that, the executive branch don't have legislative or judicial power to determine anybody's citizenship. So if the police say somebody's a sovereign citizen because they believe that they're a Moorish American or they're a Moor, that's a sovereign citizen, understand, and know that they are in violation of law and playing with people's citizenship if they so choose to acknowledge it. Because executive branch, the three branches of so-called government, according to the Constitution, is legislative, executive, and judicial. So the policy enforcers or policy, whoever these people are, what they claim to be the executive branch, they don't have the constitutional authority to determine citizenship. That is an issue. If you're scared about standing on your rights because an executive part who has no legislative power to determine citizenship is going to call you something. And pardon me, I don't mean to go on a rant, but this pisses me off in a sense when it comes to Moors who claim to be Moors and representing Noble Drew Ali, and they don't really comprehend his civic message, Cool Joe. I know we do, but they don't really respect it because they're still scared on what the policy enforcers are going to say when they don't have legislative or judicial authority to determine citizenship. Like, it's one thing if they say, oh, that's a sovereign human being. But if they say that's a sovereign citizenship, a sovereign citizen, that is another brand for all those. This is no, I appreciate what Noble Drew Ali has done, but to the modern Moors who are naysaying and scared, listen, they don't have the judicial or the legislative authority to determine your citizenship. It goes in the same classification as Negro, Black, Colored, African American, and Ethiopian. These are not authentic nationalities. Through common parlance, people recognize themselves maybe as that because they don't know. And all due respect to y'all. But however, you know, these things have no standing in law. These are this is the color game. This is the color of law. This is where the color of law and color of authority comes from. Fictitious acknowledgments in that world, or in that realm. This is where they do what they do at. So I'm just saying that to say that standing on your rights, right? Standing on your birthrights, because Noble Drew Ali did say come all ye Asiatics, and hear the truth about your nationality and your birthrights, right? Like, yeah, religion, that's a birth. You know, as a birthright, you could choose whatever one, but your birthrights are way larger than what religion you choose. But your nationality is determined by your ancestry. So, you know, I'm just saying that to say that please don't let people think that because you don't belong to an organization that you don't have rights. To the Moors who may not know all this funny foul stuff that's going on with the naysayers and whatnot. Like, listen, you have rights as a human being. And if you're going to study, because, and I'm only saying this because some of these Negro minded, and that's no disrespect to a people, we're talking about a mentality, right? Negro is not a people. It is a mentality, just like niggardly, right? These are mentalities. So the Negro minded people feel like they have to be inferior to what the colonial operations have going on. But always remember that they are still bound to the Constitution by oath and affirmations. So the law is the law. To all my people out there, just remember you are not inferior. You are not any of that. No matter what treatment they dish out, we are not inferior. And in the Declaration of Independence, one of the most powerful statements that I've heard in there is we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal and free and endowed by their creator with certain unalienable or inalienable rights, among which are life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, right? And so what I'm saying is when it comes to Moors exercising certain rights and it comes to Moors not knowing and trying to argue back and forth, all I can say is we hold these truths to be self-evident. We're not arguing with niggas. Excuse my expression. And I don't mean a people. I mean a mind state that's out there who is misrepresenting what Noble Drew Ali was really bringing, because he was bringing it on a civic level too. You know? And so more, that was what was on my heart to share for the moment. If it's not too much, I'm gonna yield right now. I just, you know what I mean? This is where it's at.
It's a lot more. And the other thing that we were talking about that we wanted to make sure that we give honors to was the Prodigy, because today's the 20th as well. With regard to him, that's why we played the first song, to put him out in the ethers with his consciousness, his awareness. So it's not in vain, you know, the growth that you people who were hip to the game of Mobb Deep, they saw the growth, they saw the evolution to you know, changing the lifestyle, not being dumb nigger anymore, getting real knowledge of self, knowing the truth about who we are as a people, and taking those steps to you know, express that, you know, using the platform that he has to actually say something, just like Nipsey used the platform, or like they were talking about with Kendrick using the platform with whatever show he had last night or whatever, have people losing their shit, right? You know, it's the time. The awareness is rising. The awareness is getting more. You know, even amongst the ones who know already, we're even seeing more. We're even seeing broader now. You know, the lens that we're looking at is having us see a lot further than we were before. You know, And again, for those who haven't put in the work, like they said, Prodigy had the rhyme book. Stuff forever. You're never gonna stop, because that's just what the universe gave him. But he didn't fall short with it. He took it and applied it to his existence. Applied it to his existence. Not just having knowledge for nothing. Having knowledge to use it. And again, with people who don't want to accept the fact that it's inalienable rights, and that, like Ms. was saying earlier about the feeling inferior or being inferior, because you tried to exercise something and it didn't go the way that you thought it was supposed to go, doesn't mean that your position was wrong. Those people are colonists. Their position doesn't count, is how you should be looking at them. Their position is fraudulent. Their position can't trump the position of rights. They're outside of that. So you can't expect their acknowledgement of it for it to be something. It's already something. It's already what it's supposed to be. It's already what it's supposed to be. The rights of the people are constantly going to be infringed, because you're dealing with individuals who they spray people every day. They don't care. They're going GMO everything. The GMO vegetables, plastic vegetables. Used to enjoy ice cream cone. Ice cream cone's not even real anymore. Right, this is where they're going. They want everybody to be artificial. But what do we get told back in the 1900s? We got told, if you don't do anything else, declare your nationality. You're going to be taxed to death. Look at the prophecy manifesting in our face. The amount of taxes people are paying right now. That's prophecy manifesting.
Crazy.
And we're at this juncture where, the boat has left the dock, but it's only getting further and further away from land. So you got to figure something out.
Yup, and it ain't sinking.
Right? You have to figure something out. The ark has already set sail, and the angel took the key and all that. So you have some things to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Right? People have subs in Florida water and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta start thinking about what place are you gonna have. Is your heir gonna know the truth about their nationality and birthrights, to know that, I'm you can't draft me, I'm not in your jurisdiction.
That part.
I'm not in your jurisdiction.
Uh-huh.
What do you mean you're trying to get me at school? Doesn't there need to be consent or something like that?
Yeah.
Do they know? They better know. Right? Do your heirs know that when that whoever comes to them to talk about, I think you really should be changing your gender and all that. Is your child gonna know what to say?
Word.
Right. This time is even though it's everything's looking beautiful and the bouquets are blossoming and all that stuff. Don't forget there's thorns in there.
Yeah.
So don't get caught up smelling the roses.
That part.
Yes, it's amazing. It's beautiful. We're awakened. We're knowing the truth about ourselves. But there's also going to be, a lot trying to take you off the path too. The greater you be aware, the greater your responsibility. Yeah, Moore said in the chat, it's zero tolerance right now. People are making one wrong move and cars flipped, and then you're done.
Mm-hmm.
One little stupid thing that you did, and it could be over. You're not just gonna, you could stub your toe now and shatter your whole shit. You have to cut your foot off because you stubbed your toe, just because you didn't learn from the 50 other times that you stubbed it. So you don't have too much leeway for mistakes anymore. Right? People are slipping hard, falling on their sword hard right now. Falling on their sword hard. And it's mainly ones who are talking crazy. Instead of sticking with the program, they want to play games with the birthrights. Sword falling on is a new sport. Don't get drafted. Don't be a fall on the sword champion.
And that's the thing. And people gotta realize that so-called governments are there to serve people. People are not there to serve governments. Right? Like that's the whole purpose, is to protect people's rights. And so when they're not doing that, you know that there's something wrong. And you also have to know that in this era of time, you might have to tone back a little bit your level of entitlement, because we already know that these people are dealing in color of authority. So don't expect much from them. You know what I mean? Like, that they're obligated to it, and yes, they're liable for violating it. But we can't be surprised when we know that, these people are operating under color of law, bro, and they are trying to naysay and classify the common people's rights for truths that are held to be self-evident. Like we shouldn't have to explain this. You know what I mean? Like why we have these certain rights. Why I have the right to fish. Why I have the right to travel. Why I have the right to exercise my rights. Like, you know what I mean? Like these are self-evident truths, right? And so when people act like those who are infringing upon those people's rights are right when they're actually operating under color of law, they are them, right? Like how they say, you're not a you're not a colleague, you're a colonizer. Like if they think like them, that's who they are. They have a European mindset. They're operating and following idol gods of Europe, of whom they know nothing of. They just fall in love with their slander about themselves and their people, bro. And I'm just saying that at this point in life, there's certain rights we have that we just holding to be self-evident, bro. Just like every generation before us did. Like we don't gotta explain why we got rights to anybody who doubts. You know what I mean? Like if it's self-evident, it's self-evident. If these people are not aware, that's on them. They don't see the self-evident birthright that was a part of founding all of this, that ideology, that concept. That's why Noble Drew Ali was saying, for He was calling on those who stood for the enforcement of a free national constitution and government. That's who he was calling on for help. And so it's our duty to know the law, man.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam, brother Salim.
Islam, bro. So, hey, the tie-in with what you talking about, when you read the Bill of Rights, and you only really need to comprehend number one to know that everything else following that was already tied up in number one. But then when you touch on Bill of Rights 4, that compounds exactly what's being said as being your natural right. This is not a piece of paper giving you rights. This is your rights to life, period, because of your manifestation here. So Bill of Rights 1, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And that basically just means that how I live, as long as I'm not bothering nobody else, you should be leaving me all the way the fuck alone.
You couldn't have said it no better. That's just what it is. You're not harming nobody. You're not doing injury to no one. You're living your life. It's yours, right? Like, as long as that's the issue, that's the case. Like, everything else is color of law. You know what I mean? Like, that's a real fact.
Islam, what?
Islam. And those are self-evident truths. So the right to exercise your nationality, your heritage, your culture, right? That's all in the First Amendment. Because remember, liberty of conscience, that's also a right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for you to determine for yourself, what is religious to you.
Exactly.
Right? Like your religion don't have, like, again, we all Moors. We're all Moors. Bro, if I say I want to be Buddhist, that doesn't change the fact that I'm a Moor.
You're a Moor at all, right?
You know what I mean? That's just my religious choice. And you know, divinely enough, even looking into those scripts, it's a lot about liberty and freedom in that. Right? So the similarities, the principles are there. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The principles are there no matter what quote unquote religion anymore wants to choose. This is why This is why we have those principles. And you know, some of us don't comprehend that. But the reality is, no matter what religion we choose, if we could stick to those 5 principles, we could agree. We don't have to agree on everything, but we could get along. That is a fact. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
Peace, freedom, and justice.
Yeah.
I don't care what you believe in, right? Like, this is something we can all agree on. Like, whatever your religion is, we can agree that these 5 principles are very important in this life. And so again, you know, if your principles are that, but your religion, what you may choose to be or declare as your religion is something else, you know, it's not that you're not a Moor no more. Like, Moor is a people. And this is something I was building with my mother on the other day, right? Like, I personally feel like, specifically as we identify with being Moors, I feel like Moor or Moors is the exact proper word for us. Don't get me wrong. I respect if we say something is Moorish. And pardon me, Moors. I don't mean, this is no disrespect, but add on. Let's build. Type it in the chat if somebody feels a different type of way. you agree with me, but I feel like this: the people that have been labeled Negro, Black, and colored are Moors. They are really, actually, factually, the true identity is Moors, right? Also, Al Moroccan and also American, specifically, right? American is a derivative of Al Moroccan, right? Any one of the various copper complexion natives. But I feel like when we say we're Moors, we are specifically identifying ourselves. When we say Moorish, I feel like we're the right concept is our culture, meaning, and tell me if y'all think I'm wrong. I just really need to build with this. I need to build about this with. But like, I feel like the Fez is not it. The Fez is Moorish, right? Like the Fez is not a Moor, but it's something specifically identifiable with those people's culture, meaning that
Yeah.
Moor's cultural symbol across the planet is the Fez, meaning the Fez is Moorish, right? Also feel like the same thing with the turban. It is the highest crown of the Muslim or the Moor. It's not a Muslim or Moor, but it's Moorish, right? I don't know if I'm looking too far into it. I was thinking about it again because there's some people who are claiming to be Moorish Americans and they don't agree with, it's not us, but they really don't agree with what Noble Drew Ali was teaching, but they blame us for it. Meaning Noble Drew Ali was teaching about there's no need for the application of the 14th and 15th Amendment. We heeded the divine warning from him, not them, but the divine warning from him, and lived the life accordingly, right? Because we truly believe what he said was true, and not just believe it, we did the knowledge to it. So I'm saying, as a people, we are Moors.
Facts.
I think that the things that belong to us as a people are Moorish. Again, the arches in architecture, that's called Moorish architecture. The Fez, cultural, it's a Moorish headdress. For some people, it's religious, but it's actually Moorish. And pardon me, that was just what was on my heart and mind to share right now. I know there's going to be Moors and Moorish Americans that disagree with me, but that's how I see it. Like, first and foremost, we're a people. You know what I mean? In or out the temple, we are a people, and people have rights. People have nationalities. People have birthrights. People have rights that we hold to be self-evident. These truths to be self-evident. That whether you agree or not, we don't have to explain because they're self-evident. Pardon me, Morris. I hope I didn't lose nobody, but those were some genuine thoughts that was on my mind. Like, we are Moors. That's a fact.
Right. Because I mean, even when you go through the literature, Noble Drew Ali reference us as Moors.
Exactly.
Even though he said our nationality is Moorish American, every time he referenced us, he never said Moorish American every time. Most times,
listen up, you Moors.
He said Moors.
Listen up,
right?
Most times he said Moors.
You feel me?
Yep.
And so I feel like some of the opposition coming from alleged members of the temple, Moor Science Temple of America, are and it's crazy because they really not even a part of that. But it's like they don't understand birthrights. They think that whatever they say, whatever they legislate, they don't put none of it in perspective. They don't put the Dred Scott case in perspective. They don't put none of these things in perspective. And they just think that what the Europeans are doing today, if it doesn't agree with what they're doing, then everybody else is wrong. And I feel like that concept is inferior, bro. Like, it's inferior. It's constitutional psychopathic inferiority is a real thing. And I know you Moors know, but you Moors who know, that is a real definition. It's a legal definition. It is a thing, right? And so when we're not living free, that is constitutional psychopathic inferiority. Yo, I'm just saying it's a real thing, bro. So yeah, pardon me. I don't mean to be long-winded, but the reality is some people they will never see the self-evident truths, bro. And it's sad for them, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? There has always been classes. I wish it was, even though it really is in nature, everybody is equal and free. But some people can't see themselves outside of an inferior position. So again, the Constitution, the law of nature, these are the checks and balances. With that, I yield the floor for now, Moor.
Islam. You have something there, brother Salim?
Yeah, I'm gonna add on right fast. So, it's from the oral statements, number 56. Brother I Cook Bay, GG, I don't even know what's that. Grand Governor.
Grand Governor.
All right, Emeritus of Illinois said that the Holy Prophet said you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I'm going to lead some of you Moors, he didn't say Moorish Americans, all the way up to salvation, and you are going to turn around and go the other way. And that is exactly what I've seen a lot of Moors do right now. Right now, every time I turn around, Moors is not holding true to the principles. They don't care about the things that we actually need to come together on spiritually, mentally, and then physically manifesting that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we disenfranchised. We don't have the institutions that we need. We fuck around and we complain about the things that we don't have instead of actually putting in the work that's going to help us fix it. Like, just like you said earlier, salvation and the savior, the whole savior complex. You dig what I'm saying? It's like our people keep looking for a leader. Come on, bro, you is that. My sister, my brother, like, you got to do that for you. Come together as one. A fist is a strike a mighty blow. Your hands all, your fingers spread out, you're gonna break a finger, Jack.
It's a fact. Facts.
Islam, man.
Islam.
Nah.
And just to put out constitutional psychopathic inferiority.
Yeah.
Individuals who show a lifelong and constitutional tendency not to conform to the customs of the group, and who habitually misbehave and have no sense of responsibility to their fellow men or to society as a whole. These individuals fail to learn by experience and are inadequate, incompatible, and inefficient. Constitutional psychopathic inferiority. Individuals who show a lifelong and constitutional tendency not to conform to the customs of the group. Right? So the group says nationality is the order of the day, and you hear them telling you religion, they're constitutional psychopathically inferior.
Salty Sallies.
Salty Sallies. Salty for no reason.
Facts.
Right? How about just get with what the group is saying? Right? Who habitually misbehave. Right? So people out here just taking the nationality and doing whatever. They have no order. They're just, oh, I'm a Moor, so I'm gonna, and then they just go doing stuff without having knowledge of what they're doing. And have no sense of responsibility to their fellow men or to society as a whole. And these are the people who are out there right now. constitutionally psychopathic, inferior people. They're out there right now.
Bunch of assholes.
These individuals,
Barbie, Islam.
fail. These individuals fail to learn by experience. Fail to learn by experience. Experience is the best teacher.
Now, that's important. You read that definition, right? Because it's a real mentality out there.
Yeah.
Right. Now, Noble Drew Ali and what his endeavors to do while he was alive, because we could talk about what happened after he passed or transitioned. But while he was alive, he was preparing us to not be in that mind state, right? Am I right? You feel like I'm right or wrong about that, right? He was talking about being born free and equal, meaning he was not teaching any inferiority doctrine, right? Like he wasn't teaching us as being inferior. So I'm looking at it like those who are sitting here today claiming to rep Noble Drew Ali, but their whole perspective is the constitutional psychopathic inferiors. They suffering from that, bro. Now they'll say, well, Noble Drew Ali didn't mention nothing about that, so it's
they're quick to say that shit.
You know what I mean? And this is what pisses me off about them is because they're so surface level, and they really ain't even surface level, bro.
Yeah,
they don't really see the surface. You know what I mean? But their response would be, "No, Drew Ali didn't teach about that." Yeah, all right, okay.
Yeah,
y'all continue to be that because he was talking to people so they wouldn't be that. You know what I mean? And this is what you see, and I think that in some instances, the representation out there or people trying to represent Noble Drew Ali, they really don't know his works. They're scared of being labeled a sovereign citizen. And I get it because nobody wants to be placed under a fictitious label. They don't have the balls to fight that accusation. They don't have the balls to combat the concept of somebody trying to reclassify their citizenship, if any. Right? And so they get scared of the label. Like, I'm not scared because somebody will label me black. I don't fear that. I'm not scared because somebody might say, oh, that's a sovereign citizen. That doesn't scare me. Right? Like, because I know how to rebut that. I know I'm not none of that. Negro, black, color, and let's go for the 2000s, sovereign citizen, all that. No, we are natural people who are standing on natural rights, and for the fact that we are not slaves or subjects, to try to reclassify a citizenship is unconstitutional. So when you know that you're not wrong, the color of authority is operating under color of authority and color of law, there is a certain sense of a peace of mind to understand what's really happening. You know what I mean? And even with those labels being out there, they're the same as all the other ones Noble Drew Ali warned us about. So I'm just saying, don't be scared to stand up for your rights. Your rights. For whoever's listening, if you got rights to stand on, or birthrights, or contract, whatever rights you have, don't be afraid to enforce them because somebody is going to say that you're something other than what you are. That's BS, right? Like, if that's the case, we wouldn't even got into or even took it a level further knowing that we are Moors, right? Or even having a respect for Noble Drew Ali, because Noble Drew Ali was the one who was teaching we're not Negro, black, and color. We have a nationality. Having a nationality does mean something in law. Don't get it twisted. Don't let these people tell you it don't mean nothing. No, having a nationality means something in law, right? And so I'm just saying that it's said that there's some Moors who claim to be repping Noble Drew Ali, and they're really not. They don't even think of themselves as, even if they don't have a, even if they're not like, oh, I'm superior to the colonists or the colonials, or I'm superior to the color of law, it doesn't affect my natural rights. Like, they don't even think they're equal. Right? Like, they don't even think that they have the same equality with the European. Like, they literally come from a perspective of being inferior. Right? It's kind of like the trifecta: positive, negative, neutral, superior, inferior, neutral, right? Or equal, right? Neutral would be equal. They don't even see that, bro. Like, their whole perspective is inferior. And I'm just saying, I don't care what nobody say. Noble Drew Ali wasn't giving out the demonstrations and the lessons that he was for us to feel like we're inferior. We could even say he didn't do it to make us feel like we're superior. At minimum, for damn sure, he was doing it to make us overstand that we are equal. They don't have no authority. You don't have. That's a fact. That's a fact, according to the Constitution, though. So, for the Moors that hear what I'm saying, I trust you get it. For those who don't, I'm sorry you don't. But at this moment, I'm gonna yield the floor with highlighting the understanding that no matter how you look at it, Noble Drew Ali never looked at us as being inferior to them. And if you gotta ask who is them and us, you lost anyway. So yeah, Moor, I'm gonna leave that there for now. Islam.
And him not wanting us to be inferior is why you can't say that more is a complexion or more is a word or more is right. Like more ties us to something so great that none of these other labels, brands, etc. has connected us to. Many of them connected us to being inferior. Majority of the words, the names that we've had, the purpose of them was to have us to be in an inferior state. And it worked to perfection. That, you know, we didn't even have to go through a back door if there was none. We would make one to go through the back instead of just going through the front like everybody else. Right? And then going through the back implies that you're sneaky and you're up to no good, and you know, why would you go that way? But that's the mindset. That's that inferior mindset. That all you do is just go check the things that Noble Drew Ali said. Not even the deep stuff. We're talking surface. You're not Negro, black, colored. Automatically, that's taking you out the inferior jurisdiction. And then he took us out, and then we go put ourselves right back in there, calling us some other fiction. You know, and I would see why he would make reference to Moorish American, right? Because there's a Brazilian American and there's all these other Americans, and we're not because every time you hear Moors, everybody goes to Spain. Everybody goes to some across the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, the Moors. So him saying Moorish was also for us to be tied to our jurisdiction, not just tied to our jurisdiction, but now us having our own connection to the Moors, being Moorish, being pertaining to the Moors. we're relative. We're connected to the Moors of Spain, Moors of ancient Egypt, Moors of New Zealand, Moors of Hawaii, Moors of wherever there's Moors. We're connected to them. That's the divine origin of the Asiatic nations. Our direct connection to all these others just because of us saying that we're Moors. And then once we start saying that we're Moors, now we're seeing that they have the same headdresses as us. They dress like us. They practice all the things we practice. Their ancestors are nappy hair, big noses, and all that, big lips.
The language is similar.
Language is similar. All these different languages being spoken at the same time. And then they have you thinking origin games with languages. But people are coming from one side of the planet to the other side, meeting people, and they're having conversations. That's just like Dr. York was teaching. What language was the serpent talking to Eve? And then her responding to the serpent. How she know what the serpent's saying?
Yeah, say that.
You know what I mean? Because all these languages are all the same. All the people are all the same. One big happy family. Right? That's what we are now. A bunch of slaves. Because we don't want to be free. We don't want these self-evident truths. We want the lies. We want the brands. We want the fiction. We want the things that we know from experience, like we were reading, Matt, the constitutional psychopathic inferiority. From experience, we know this stuff doesn't work. Saying that we're all these different names. Especially when we experience other people with nationalities be successful in their life.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that their success is based on us spending with them. Their success is based on us spending our finance with them instead of our own.
If we were only wise enough to turn that around and spend that finance on ourselves and invest in ourselves and look after each other, and we need institutions like homes for the elderly. Why we don't have our own? We should have our own.
Oh my gosh, Brother Salim, what you said is so important. I mentioned this a while ago, but I feel it imperative to mention now. In my home region, there is a so-called Catholic church, right? That's also a school. Now, I don't subscribe to Catholicism, but I understand how religions function, right? And so it was called St. Peter's Church. And back in the day, it was a school and a church. Forget what they believed in. Let's just say it was a religious function, right? A church and a school. Now, today, they have added on a home for the elderly who are into that school and that religion. And now the elderly have a home there. And it hit me that this is exactly, because remember, St. Peter is a Moor, just to keep it in perspective. But that is exactly what Noble Drew Ali was talking about when he said every temple must have a school. No matter what religion you exercise inside of a temple, right? The concept of the physical manifestation is it's supposed to be both. It's supposed to be a school and it should be a temple for religious observation, if all praise is due to the Most High. Now, I can't speak for what they're worshiping, but the concept, I really get what you're saying. Where's the home for the elderly? I see this being practiced by other religions. I've seen different religious institutions get blocked from manifesting these things, to whereas they had to sue for religious discrimination in certain areas. And so I'm just saying that the concept of what Noble Drew Ali was saying is actually universal. It's not unique to just quote unquote Catholics. Like the concept of having a school and a temple and then a home for the elderly, meaning all those who went to that school at their sunset days, they still have a place to be on those same premises. And when I think about it, whether I agree with Catholicism or not, the concept of that being available in the divine international movement, basically for all three phases of life, you go to school, then you develop, you get your spirituality strengthened, and then in your sunset days, a home in that same place that you got knowledge, wisdom, and understanding being availed to you as an option of your choice for life or your way of life. I think that's so fly. But that is precisely what Noble Drew Ali was talking about. And it didn't start with Catholics. And so I just wanted to highlight that and acknowledge what you're saying and just my perspective on it. Because it's deep. It's deep, but it's not. It's obvious. That's how it's supposed to go. And these Catholic church be having saints that are named after Moors. And we don't have to subscribe to Catholicism, but knowing the history makes a big difference. Knowing Catholicism and Christianity and all that, you understand what it means when the Pope renunciated the doctrine of discovery and all of that. You know what I mean? Like it literally means something to Moors, or even Moors who subscribe to being Moorish American on a religious level, right? You know that if the Pope is saying we renunciate, we denounce the doctrine of discovery, that is the foundation for everything they did in the West. And I'm going to yield here. Cujo, bro, you was mentioning the fact that when people think about Moors, opposed to Moorish Americans or whatnot, but when they think about Moors, they think of Spain. But what they don't think about is the math, that how is it that right around that time in the 1490s, as the Moors were being defeated in that region, in that specific region, that is the same year that Columbus came to America. How is it not that, because Columbus got the mandate to fight the Moors in Spain, because he couldn't get the mandate from England, because Moors was ruling England as well. So he could not get the mandate from England to come to the West. He had to go to Spain to get the backing of Ferdinand and Isabella.
Mm-hmm.
And then came over to the West as the Moors were being defeated in Spain, the last fall in Spain. But that wasn't the Moors being defeated everywhere on the planet. That was just there. And it's so unique. The timeline don't lie. They came over to the Western Hemisphere right after they expelled the Moors from Spain in 1492.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if Moors were to think about Moors in Spain, how do we look at that from a world historical point of view to see the connection to Moors in the Western Hemisphere? It wasn't by happenstance that they couldn't come here until they defeated the Moors in Spain.
Yeah.
That's not you. It's obvious.
Yeah.
Moors had a global empire. It's obvious when you look at the history. England rejected Columbus from getting a mandate or delegation to explore the West. And because he couldn't get it from England, he had to go to Spain in the 1490s. And because Spain was beefing with Moors at that time, they was like, absolutely, we need all extensions, expansions. So if you want to explore, they gave him the permission to sail on the seas. That's what really happened. For Moor's history, even if they was to think of Spain, they have to bring it up to present day. How did it go from Spain to here? There was always a connection prior to them even going through Spain. So world history, global history, always have to be on that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's I was taking in there was this book before Columbus that I was taking in since I came here for Saturday. So it's crazy talking about the same thing. This idea that there was something going on over here. There was something happening. Before these Europeans came over here, there was something happening over here that absolutely gets neglected. Absolutely gets neglected. That there was action going on over here. And don't think that it was some small time thing, because the book was talking about because the Americas being cornered in by oceans, they had access to everywhere. Anywhere they want to go, they had access to. And what level do these people have to be on to say they're going to go and navigate the world? They're going to go navigate the world. And then other people, 1492, are going to be traveling. And when they get here, they're so blown away that they thought they were back over there. That's how built up over here was.
Yep.
The Americas built up to the point where all the records of Europeans, Spaniard Europeans, etc., coming over here, they equated over here with the Moors of over there. So it is global. Noble Drawley is right. The flag is tens of thousands of years old. It's nothing you gotta go check. You're not Negro black colored. You don't have to go check that you're not Negro black colored.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, it should have hit you. Yeah. Why the hell am I calling myself black and colored and all this? Nobody else calls themselves that.
Facts.
You know, go to Yellowtown. Go to Yellowtown to get your yellow slippers. And if you go there talking crazy like that to them, you better watch yourself. Because other nations don't mess around with people playing with their nation, or playing with their prophet, or playing with their culture in any type of way. They do not take lightly to that. But people feel they could do whatever or say whatever when it comes to Moors. They can just tell lies on the history of Noble Drew Ali just because. Right? This has been established for us to be able to have something. Everybody else has something. How come we can't have anything yet? Everybody else has something. Ukrainians came yesterday. They have something.
ASAP.
Ukrainians came yesterday. Congolese and whoever, they're coming a second time now. Mm-hmm. They came already. They're coming. They have a second wave coming in now. One of the areas near Canaanland, they showed a picture of of a bus, a full bus. Bus was packed. Bus was packed. All the Sri Lankans on the bus. Only them.
That's crazy.
Only them. No other nationality on this bus.
Mm-hmm. That's wild, man.
Wild.
Yeah.
And then our people are sitting here. They can't even figure out how to get one property.
Right.
These people have 7 properties with 30 of their relatives.
Mm.
Yeah.
You can't even get one in order. So, you know, like the master teacher said, the sorcerers did a good job.
Yeah.
The sorcerers did a good job.
Right. That's so true. And in that colonial operation that they got going on, and my perspective, bro, based off of true fact, law, history, natural law, they are the biggest scammers on the planet, because I don't know anything else. Like there's nothing you could really buy and still owe money on. Right. So like let's say somebody was to be like, yo, I'm gonna buy this piece of land, and they buy it flat out cash, right? And they say, okay, you're the owner of this property. Well, you still, according to them, under color of law, you still gotta pay taxes. They add on things that are taxes, and they add on things as taxes that are not. Meaning, if you quote unquote own a property, they'll tax you for having a water sewer line. They'll tax you for property tax. They're like, how do you buy something and still owe anybody on it? If you bought it flat out, right? But it don't matter. Like they try to, under colonial operations, you could pay full price cash, and after that, they still act like you owe somebody. That is a scam. I don't know what to tell people who don't understand that. It's obvious. It's clear. You're talking about colonists whose land this really is not. It's not their land like that. But they have a claim where they're like, you want to own a piece of property for the rest of your life, you got to pay me for the rest of your life. That is a scam, bro. You know what I mean? Like anything else you buy, once you buy it, you bought it. Whether it's gas, whether it's a shirt, whether it's pants, sneakers, whatever. You know what I mean? So if people don't get that part, it's common sense, you know. If they don't get it, then that's on them. But I will say this: even in the Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, it was talking about how for tens of thousands of years, people migrated to North America for tens of thousands of years. And it always reminds me to put this thing in perspective, for the fact that, okay, tens of thousands of years, you could say that's ancient principle or custom. But it's like under the United States jurisdiction, the United States is not even 1,000 years old, let alone tens of thousands of years old. So if people been migrating to North America for tens of thousands of years, and I'm not making this up, this is in Ellis Island. Like if you did the field research, you will come across this. For tens of thousands of years, people have been migrating to North America. And it's like to see those same ancient principles playing out today, because it is a very beautiful place, right? It's not surprising. It's those who are in a colonial mindset that may feel some type of way about it. So I'm just saying that what we see going on today, and like you said, Ukrainians coming from everywhere, and they're coming here getting supported. And you know what is the difference? They're claiming the nationality, but also This is something that has been going on for multiple tens of thousands of years. 1492 is not even 1,000 years ago. So when they were coming from Spain and quote unquote, as they say, exploring North America or on that conquest intent, really, prior to them even coming, people been coming from all over the globe. It wasn't a new concept. It ain't like, oh, the Europeans found North America. First off, there was already Aboriginal indigenous people here. Second of all, people from all over the planet was coming for tens of thousands of years. The European is the newest comer to the land, right? Pause. But they are the newest people to the region. And that says a lot. So when I see them saying, oh, people are coming from all over the planet, that has been happening from ancient times. We're seeing again prophecies fulfilled. Noble Drew Ali was speaking about how there's no need for the application of the 14th Amendment for the salvation of our people and the citizens. They're coming here, no naturalization under the U.S. jurisdiction, none of that. And they're living. And I'm just saying that it's kind of like an ancient way still playing out today. And with that, I give the floor. I don't know how you feel about that.
You have anything to add to that?
Oh nah. Yeah, Islam, boy, that was you was right on point though, bruh. But I'm a yield because I'm cooling.
Islam.
Indeed. So I know we've been on. Time flies so fast. It's been almost 2 hours already,
bro. It's it's freaking warp speed when we get on this thing.
Yeah, I can't.
It's warp speed,
just like that. You know what I mean? And it's been 2 hours already. We could carry on, but I do want to say that I know that y'all enjoying the vibes. I know y'all got a session going on this Saturday. As I explained in the beginning, if I didn't have these prior situations, I would be there, man. But for those listening, do you want to put out the invite again or the acknowledgement? Because I know it's going to be fire, man. I'll be next year. I'll be there for sure.
You're already there, bro.
Facts. Absolutely. Yeah.
Peace to Mom. Peace to Minka.
Oh yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I definitely extend that acknowledgement, man. I appreciate y'all. Moors. Yeah, man, we'll link in the flesh, but I know whatever's going on is going to be great this Saturday.
Well, yeah. You want to plug Saturday?
Yeah, man. Look, if you near or far, come through, Slim, and just build. Because it ain't going to just be talk. We try to get some things started.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you near or far, and you got the prophet up front, and you about these principles for real, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and you know what your two pillars are, your divine creed and birthright. Like, look, man, let's stop playing. Because we can do exactly what the prophet said. Everything shut down is going to be in whose hands?
Yeah.
All we got to do is prepare.
And every time it shut down, it's been in our hands, but we're just not. Moors aren't ready.
Not ready.
Yeah, not ready. Stuff been shut down a few times, and Moors not ready. So so we're here till the Moors get ready. Somebody's asking what's the airport, the nearest airport, and is there a bus from Baltimore? that
You bet it
comes
is. You bet it is. All you got to do is jump on a Google, do Google Travel. I couldn't tell you exactly right off what, but I know BWI Airport is the closest joint. I can't tell you what bus gonna bring you to the area, but I guarantee you, if you do a quick research, guarantee you find that shit. So come through. Let's build Islam. Pardon my French. But let's keep it 1,000, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right here in the so-called capital, where we supreme divine state of mind. It's time we make some moves, man.
Yeah.
Facts, man. Again, I would be right there with y'all, but I gotta go support my auntie, man.
Yeah.
Like it's
And I
her
know that
65th birthday,
Yeah.
65th born day. It just so happened it's being celebrated on the 22nd. But I gotta go. I would love to be there with y'all, but auntie, and you know what? Honestly, man, my auntie is such an inspiration. I wish I could see her more so like every day and all that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
But like, you know, she I don't want to say suffer, but she deal with MS or multiple. I can never say this right, but it's sclerosis.
Sclerosis, yeah.
Yeah, and so like at the time, like, you know what I mean, she can't like walk. But I swear, like, I don't care what nobody say, my auntie is like one of the sweetest people on the planet. So loving, so happy. Even what she dealing with, I never seen her frowning or crying. Like, she always smiling. She beautiful spirit, you know what I mean? And no matter what, she be wanting to talk to me, link with me. Like, she like, yo, you my nephew, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love, you know what I mean? That's auntie. And so if it wasn't for that, bro, I'll be right there with y'all. But I gotta go show auntie love, because, you know, and she inspires me in a way where it's like, damn, like if she could, I never seen her unhappy, right? Like, she is content with her station in life, and she can't really even walk. And I'd be like, damn, like if she could find her peace and happiness in those conditions,
Nobody else has an excuse.
you know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, damn, like, and it's never a time I seen her on some sad. Like, she always got the most beautifulest smile and all that. And I'm just shout out to my aunt sis, you know what I mean? Shout out to my fam.
Sure.
Yeah, yo, but like, I was supposed to have already been going seen her, you know what I mean? But I have to be there, bro. Like, I have to.
That's
you know
respect, man.
Yeah,
That's respect, bro. And peace to her, and a happy continuation of her seeing her days being lengthened on this earth plane. You dig what I mean? So, and enjoy that. Enjoy fam, bro. And I definitely know there'll be another time where we can link, fam. This ain't just this time. This forever, bro.
Right.
You dig what I mean, Jack?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be the same more tomorrow and today.
Yeah.
And the day after that. And more than that, only thing that's gonna change is the knowledge. Because that's gonna increase.
Because we learn every day. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So yeah, more again, you know, we share this information, we share references and sources and cross references people could go look up. It's not rocket science. Like, you know, some people, they don't have disabilities. They could go do the research. If you know what I mean? There's people who can't do what you could do, but they still doing it. You know what I mean? So there's no excuse for us, right? Like, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, man, like finding that inner peace. And what they say, hold on, how did this saying go? Hold on, what is it? The peace of Allah surpass all understanding. You know what I mean? Or pardon me if I'm misquoting that, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? You still have to know, but that inner peace is more valuable than everything. And so, yeah, Morris, I'm sure y'all gonna have a great session. I'll see y'all soon. I trust still you be making it to Philly, I definitely will make it to that one. I will be there, but it's just the timing. I gotta go support Auntie. But if anyway, I guess I'm sure we could tap in on Canaanland Moore's YouTube page.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you could tap in. We'll be right here. 5 p.m. 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Saturday. We'll be right here.
Keep Maryland.
Right.
Facts, more.
Maryland over at Toriani Studios.
Facts.
So that's all you need. 2409 Maple Cross Street. And it'll let you know. Google will let you know how far it is.
Fact. And this is the same venue.
Last year Morris came from
New York, wasn't
New
it?
York, huh? Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, that was
New York was the first. Yeah, Aqua and them.
Yeah.
So New York was the furthest so far.
Peace to them. And it was some scragglers. I think they was agents, but you know.
Yeah. Hey,
you always get those.
Yeah, keep your eyes open. Hey, I want to say this too. You know the energy when you see it. You ain't feel like that for nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yo, bro, I've been in live audiences giving sessions, and bro, I've seen soon as some people hit the door, I'm like, oh, okay, they're here for the BS. They on the conflict. They want to challenge thought. And soon as they sit down, not even 5 minutes in, you know what I mean? I've seen it, bro. Like, don't doubt that when you see it. Doubt that when you see it. I'm sure. Real talk. I've seen that, bro. Yeah. So be careful. You know, if y'all, for those out there who, you know what I mean, stay to yourself if you don't agree or whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, more y'all do the thing, man. Forget the naysayers. I'm sure agents is always on alert. They probably listening now, whatever. We ain't standing for nothing that ain't the truth.
Right.
The law is the law is the law. You know, we hold these truths to be self-evident, meaning we don't have to explain to you niggas. Because it's self-evident, and that's how we hold it. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And that's where it's at. So looking for anything outside of that, man, it's them wasting their time. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But yeah, more y'all stay safe. I appreciate it. I'll definitely catch you next session.
Yeah, more. You too. Travel safe out there. So send our honors to Auntie.
Thank y'all.
Yeah. And like we say, you know, we're going to these things for exactly what you're doing. Going to get down with your kin. You know.
Yeah.
We're not going there to go debating about why we got a fez on and all that. We're there to get some potato salad and some fried whatever. So apple pie.
All that. I need all that.
We're about going in.
Can I feel my belly?
Can I feel my belly out there?
You know what I'm saying? They keep everything with the lamb chops, the pork, the beef. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, with everything else. And you know it's crazy. I ended up fasting for 7 days. I was thinking like, yo, how do I lose a couple pounds? Man, I did a fast for 7 days and lost some pounds. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, 7 day joint, straight water. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's so amazing. It's so amazing. But yeah, I'm going to just vibe. You know what I mean? Like I want the whole experience. I love my aunt. She loved me. You know what I mean? I gotta be there, man. I can't say it no other way. You know what I mean? I got family flying in from the West Coast.
Right.
All that. It's just like, yo, I gotta.
Yeah, those ones.
That's peace,
Yeah,
bro.
I'd be fucking. Yeah, I would probably be disowned if I didn't show up. Like,
and again, that's a testament as well to, because I'm pretty sure all of them aren't on more science or nationalized or whatever like that, but you're still going there.
Of course not. But let me tell you this. Let me say this though, and I appreciate what you said because you're right. You are right. But I will say that they are some of them are wiser than some of these niggas. And I don't mean to say pardon me. Some of these niggas who are acting like they represent more science, some of them, even though they don't claim it, are smarter than them. And I mean that with all due respect, because even though we both know more science, don't get me wrong, you know that there's some sellouts amongst the more science ranks, more science temple of America. There's sellouts. It's some people who don't claim to be Moors that still stick true to principles, right? Even though they may not. But in spirit and in fact and in DNA, they're still Moors. They really operate like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna leave you with this. This is something my cousin, which is my aunt's son, said to me a while ago. And we was just having a social conversation. He was like, yo, Miz, some niggas is the definition of bending the law and not breaking it. I'm gonna just leave it there. Right. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know if y'all get that. We niggas, but you know what I mean? This is what he said. He was like, and I apply that to even what's going on today. They be like, oh, they're in violation of law. They're going to be labeled sovereign citizens because they exercise this right to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, or whatever, right? Like, and they paint us as breaking laws and being sovereign citizens and having some fictitious citizenship, right? When the reality, and we're not even bending the law, but we're definitely not breaking it. You know what I mean? Like in the sense of having a constitutional perspective on things, right? That doesn't alone, because they say, you know, it's hard for me to try to explain it, but for the Moors who know, right? Like if I stand on the Constitution and there's a venue that is operating under color of law and has been operating under color of law for the past 30, 40, 50 years since their inception, now all of a sudden I'm standing on the law. They got to label me everything but a law-abiding human being, right? And when he was saying this, he was like, yo, there's some people who are the definition of bending but not breaking the law. And I don't feel like I'm bending or any of us are bending the law, but I understood what he was saying.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like he said that and it stuck. Whether I agree or not, when he said that, I'm like, damn, that's kind of deep. You know what I mean? Like it's simple, but it's deep. Like those who variate from the norm are considered as, oh, you're breaking the law. You're exercising your constitutional rights. That's quote unquote breaking the law. You should do what they say. But that's not the law. That's color of law. And bending that ain't breaking the law. No, y'all feel me? Nah, I don't know. Let's see.
You feel you. Yeah, man. We feel you loud and clear.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So you know what I mean? I gotta be there. I love them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's what's up. That's what's up.
You know what I mean? And it's not that we trying to, you know, the law is the law, and we acknowledge it. The Constitution, they don't want to acknowledge it. And part of me, I leave with this. I do trust. I shared this story before, but I'll say it again. When I was 17, again, I'm 37 now. When I was 17, I was fighting my first traffic ticket. Right? And the principle, the constitutional principle that I elected to stand on, because it was one that was easy for me to understand and enforce, was this. I know that the policy enforcers profiled me, right? Like it was BS. The whole stop was BS. Right. But they were trying to fine me like $400, 400 FRNs. Now I was told, hey, go down to the city hall, get a copy of the judge's oath. This is your first step to even having a defense. Without this evidence, you have no defense. Like, you can know what you know, but you got to have the evidence. So go get a copy of the judge's oath, the policeman's oath, all of that. So that was my first assignment. I went down there, got the copy of the judge's oath, got the policy enforcer's oath. This is 2005. So I'm standing on what I could understanding or understanding that they have an oath and an obligation to the Constitution. They're telling me they want me to pay $400 for a no left turn traffic ticket, something stupid. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, well, I'm 17. At that time I didn't have $400 to give to these people. You know what I mean? So my defensive choice was the 7th Amendment, the 7th Bill of Rights. Anything over $20, you have the right to a jury trial. This is what I was standing on. Like, I'm standing on that, enforcing the Constitution. Right? Like, this is like the simplest, easy. And so as I'm standing on that, the magistrate say, well, just because the Constitution was written does not mean we cannot have slavery. This is what the magistrate tells me. I'm 17, bro. My constitutional argument is I don't got nothing over $20 at 17.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's my election. And when he said that, I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, oh, my nigga, I'm saying I ain't got nothing over $20. I'm taking my chance with the jury trial. Give me that. Yeah, let me explain this shit. Because it ain't happen how this policy enforcement saying it's happened. This is some bullshit. And I know y'all not going to hear me. Y'all just want to get some money. You know what I'm saying? I'm going constitutional beast mode. And simplistically, I could argue that. I could argue I ain't got nothing over $20 for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm standing on my right to a jury trial. I don't care what y'all trying to do. You're trying to find me guilty, make me make a play. I'm standing on it. And but when he said that, bro, it was a wake up call. Like, hold on. I'm just talking about what he took an oath to. Where does slavery come into this picture? Like, why is he saying this? You know what I mean? Now, and as I look back, I understand what he was saying was actually true. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, without a nationality, like, you really kind of like a slave. If you are duly convicted, they can consider you a slave. But did that statement apply in the situation at hand? No, it didn't. And so I'm saying that to say that I understand, overstand that these people do operate under color of law, fam.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it could be something basic and they want to bring you into slavery and they want to start changing what your citizenship is and all this dumb shit. When it's like, no, I'm standing on the Constitution. This is the law of the land. Who else on the planet lives somewhere and they don't know the law? Like, okay, some people may blatantly disrespect it. They don't care about it. Okay. That ain't what this is. We're saying this is the law. This is what I'm standing on. These are my rights. These are my birthrights. And let me inform y'all, if you don't know, no matter where you go, you don't have to be a citizen for the law to apply. You don't have to be a citizen for the law to apply. So when Noble Drew Ali is talking about there's no need for the application of the 14th Amendment, that is citizenship and that is jurisdiction. Don't get it twisted. If the law don't apply based off of what your citizenship is or is not. So, we could carry on. But that's my message from the heart. You know what I'm saying? Islam. You know.
Islam, more. Well, give thanks once again.
Likewise.
We had a great one, as usual.
Absolutely.
Honest to all the Moors in the chat, all the chat muftis for holding it down so we can focus on what we got to do out here. So honors to the chat muftis. And give thanks, Brother Salim, all the more is here. We're here. Saturday. It's about to be on. It's about to be on Saturday. Honest to you more. Of course, honest to the foundation. RV Bay Publications, MHHS, Eyes Wide Open. Supreme honors. You have anything in closing, Brother Salim?
Islam. Honest to the Prophet. Honest to you, good brother, for making the trip.
Islam.
For a second time. To all the mothers and sons, to the brothers and sons in the chat. And that's a great time, man.
Yep.
It's a great time. So I give thanks. And we're about to see what's cracking on Saturday.
Let's see what's cracking Saturday. Islam. Islam is
facts. Islam, y'all. Hey, I just want to say this. I was just looking back at a few comments. I don't want to drag this out. I guess they were saying when I said anything over $20, I'm forking my right to a jury trial, that I was broke. You damn right. At 17, I was broke, bro. I had fast food working restaurant money. I ain't have $400 for no fine. I was broke at 17. Yup.
Yeah.
Same
here.
Hey, I was not rich at 17. Nope. I ain't have no money for them.
You got it right now.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, shit. Yup, I was all that. Yup, for sure. Nothing for the municipality at all. You know what I'm saying? I had nothing for them niggas. Like, nothing. Yup, I own that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so, yeah. But yeah, pardon me more. I ain't mean to, you know what I mean, drag it out. But
well,
yeah,
we're good, boy.
For sure, fact. Yo, you
Peace
call all the things
love
you
and peace.
Peace, Moors. Y'all be safe. And I definitely tap in when I can on a Saturday session.
Yeah.
Peace and love, Moors. Love and peace.
Peace, Moors.
Safe travels, light arrivals, bro.
Likewise, yup. All right, Islam.